Welcome back to Lakers News Fan Report, where we bring you the latest and most exciting sports news every single day. Tonight, we're zeroing in on one of the most tantalizing trade rumors swirling around the NBA. A shockwave candidate already. On the Lakers' radar, a player whose availability is creating a buzz from Los Angeles to Golden State and beyond. Rumor has it that a certain shot-blocking, rim-running center, currently stuck in a logjam on a rival roster, might soon emerge as the hottest name on the off-season market. This isn't about two guards or perimeter scorers. We're talking about the guy who turns rosters upside down by altering shots at the rim and crashing every glass in sight. Imagine the Lakers' front court without its most glaring weakness. Picture a lineup where LeBron and Anthony Davis are no longer left vulnerable against physical bigs, where second-unit units don't collapse when the pressure ramps up, and where every team knows there's a vertical athletic marvel lurking behind the paint. For months, chatter has centered on this unknown name. Let's call him the Enforcer. And insiders now insist that the Enforcer is exactly the type of interior anchor the Lakers must consider if they want to contend while LeBron's still playing at an MVP level. Reports first emerged when the Suns and Portland were linked to various draft night packages, only to find out that the Enforcer is actually buried on the Dallas Mavericks depth chart. With Anthony Davis locked in at power forward, a rising rookie phenom earmarked for the long term, and a 19-year-old freshman headed to fill minutes on the wing, there simply isn't room in Dallas for this type of player. Mavericks insiders have admitted that any front-court logjam inevitably produces casualties, and right now, the Enforcer stands at the top of that list. Last season, this big man averaged a jaw-dropping 70.2% shooting on over 12 points per game, hauled in nearly 7 rebounds, and swatted out almost 2 shots every contest, all in fewer than 25 minutes of playing time. Think about that. Efficient scoring, elite rim protection, relentless energy on the glass, and a vertical explosion that turns every missed shot into a transition opportunity. He's exactly the type of multiplier piece you want beside elite guards, one scout told me. He doesn't need touches to be effective. He just roams the paint, and everything changes. For the Lakers, the implications are electrifying. Remember all those times this past postseason when Houston's big man bullied Anthony Davis on the block, or the Timberwolves' bruisers who carved through the interior at will? Now imagine a roster where that never happens again, where every opposing coach chomps at the bit knowing the Lakers have the Enforcer waiting to protect the rim. Oracle Park raves about defensive urgency, but Staples Center could reestablish itself as a modern, suffocating fortress. Could this be the missing ingredient in a championship recipe? Of course, we're still in rumor territory. Dallas's front office will demand value in return. The Enforcer carries an expiring $14.3 million contract, a perfect salary fit for a sign-and-trade deal. That makes him tantalizingly affordable, even for a team juggling cap constraints. But what would it take to pry him away from Mark Cuban's prized collection of assets? Would the Lakers offer up a young wing, a protected draft pick, and perhaps a backup guard to facilitate the transaction? Could they leverage their connection with their new star acquisition, himself once linked to the Mavericks, to grease the wheels? Meanwhile, Golden State is reportedly circling the same name. The Warriors, battered in the paint by Houston and Minnesota, have secretly inquired about this big man, hoping to add some physicality alongside their Splash Brothers. Yet, the Lakers lurk closer to Dallas geographically, and the Mavericks may prefer to deal with LA to avoid strengthening a title rival. That tug-of-war between West Coast powers only adds fuel to the fire, making every negotiation a captivating backstage drama. Let's play What If. Could the Lakers truly assemble a package that wins out over the Warriors? What if they offered a young prospect like Kendrick Nunn or Austin Reeves, plus a couple of second-rounders? Would Dallas balk at adding youth when their timeline has shifted? To contend now? Or might they view that package as an attractive pull to kickstart a new era under coach Jason Kidd? Fans are already wondering, Will the Lakers pull off the ultimate coup, snatching this defensive titan before anyone else even gets close? Then there's the human element. The enforcer, by all accounts, loves California. He grew up idolizing Shaq's dominance in LA, and sources say he's been asking his agent about the Lakers' locker room culture ever since LeBron arrived. Can you imagine the headlines if this player, celebrated in college for his leaping dunks, suddenly makes his debut in purple and gold, throwing down monstrous putbacks and swatting away NBA legends? The story practically writes itself. A homecoming of sorts, a once-in-a-generation signing that cements the Lakers' commitment to contending. And let's not forget the ripple effect. If the enforcer lands in LA, what happens to the minutes of Davis? Does he slide back to center full-time? Does the Lakers' playbook shift to more pick-and-rolls with LeBron and this new big raging in the paint? Could this even free up gas for the perimeter shooters to roam, knowing they've got a safety net guarding every drive? Imagine the chalkboards lighting up with diagrams that shift from small ball screens to thunderous back-to-back hammer sets, all designed to get the enforcer dunk opportunities and seal deflections. Yet, as always, there's a flip side. Dallas may call LA's bluff or demand a haul worthy of superstar status. The enforcer's asking price might include an unprotected first-rounder, even from LA's flexible future assets. And Los Angeles must weigh the cost. Is sacrificing youth, draft capital, or cap space for one season of protection worth it? Could adding a player who doesn't space the floor hamper the very offense that has made the Lakers lethal when healthy? Or is this the kind of insurance policy you write the check for without a second thought, because rings outweigh everything else? In the coming days, keep your eyes peeled for every inch of chatter from Pacific Division beat reporters. Watch for late-night tweets from Mavericks insiders hinting at pending negotiations. Monitor Rob Pelinka pressers for any mention of interior presence or front-court energy. And, most importantly, listen to the pulse of the fan base. Is the City of Angels ready to roar at the sight of a new defensive anchor in their midst? This rumor has all the makings of a summer blockbuster, a cast of superstar leads, a plot twist in the form of a surprise trade target, and a rival bidding. War to keep audiences on the edge of their seats. As fans, we want to believe this is happening. We want to see that defender of the rim walk into Crypto.com arena, raise his arms in triumph, and usher in a new era of Laker dominance. So let your imagination run wild. But remember, for now, it's speculation. Yet, in the world of NBA trades, reality often follows the best rumors. Stay tuned for the next chapter in this saga, where we'll break down the potential fallout of this trade on every Western Conference contender, simulate the opening lineups that could feature the enforcer, and ask the ultimate question: is this the move that propels the Lakers back to the mountaintop, or a gamble that could leave them exposed in other areas? If you're as hyped as I am to see every twist and turn of this blockbuster front-court chase, smash that like button, hit subscribe to Lakers News Fan Report, and ring that bell right now, because we're about to dive into exactly what could happen next, how the Lakers might execute this deal, and what it means for every other contender in the West. Let's pick up where we left off. The Lakers and Warriors are circling a rare commodity, an elite rim runner and shot blocker trapped on Dallas's crowded roster. In Part 1, we broke down Daniel Gafford's jaw-dropping efficiency and the Mavericks' logjam that makes him expendable. Now it's time to connect the dots. How can LA outmaneuver Golden State, negotiate with Dallas, and transform this rumor into a season-defining blockbuster? Picture this. It's late June, and front offices around the league are buzzing. Mavericks. Management has quietly surveyed market value for Gafford. They know they can't keep paying starter-level dollars for 20 minutes per game. An expiring $14.3 million contract in a cap-strapped playoff window is a prime trade chip. Meanwhile, the Lakers, bruised by last season's interior mismatches, have been conducting informal exploratory talks. Sources suggest Rob Pelinka's phone has been burning up with inquiries about protected picks and young wing prospects. All the while, the Warriors loom, offering their own mix of shooters and draft capital in an effort to solve their size woes. In a perfect world for LA, the Lakers would package a deal centered around Austin Reeves, the versatile guard who flourished under game pressure, Moses Moody, that high-flying rookie who can stretch the floor, and a protected 2026 first-round pick, likely top 10. Combine that with salary filler, say a veteran minimum guard like Gabe Vincent, and suddenly Dallas has both immediate youth and future upside. Reeves's steady improvement, Moody's raw talent, and a first-rounder give the Mavs 3 assets to help balance their roster around Luka, Davis, and Flagg. The Lakers emerge with Gafford locked in, ready to patrol the paint alongside Anthony Davis. But will Dallas bite? Numero uno, the Mavericks have reservations about shipping Gafford west. He's cheap, non-ego, and can thrive in limited minutes. GM Nico Harrison might push back, demanding a protected first plus a second-rounder. He might insist on including Christian Wood in the deal, attracting Gafford's replacement. Or perhaps he's willing to deal only if the Lakers add a young lottery pick like Max Christie, giving the Mavs another wing to develop. Negotiations will be fierce, and Pelinka must gauge how much youth and draft capital he's willing to sacrifice. Meanwhile, the Warriors can't stay idle. Word is that they have interest in offering Donte DiVincenzo, James Wiseman, and an unprotected 2027 first for Gafford. That sweetens the pot with a clear path to contending youth, DiVincenzo's two-way prowess, and Wiseman's massive upside if he fulfills his promise. For Dallas, the allure of a potential superstar difference-maker in Wiseman, plus a veteran DVE in the backcourt, is tempting. But do they really want to roll the dice on another young big? History suggests they prefer proven production. So perhaps they'll favor the Lakers' package of ready-now contributors over speculative upside. Now, let's simulate the negotiation theater. Pelinka meets with Harrison in a glassed-in penthouse, 2 bathtubs of coffee cooling on the conference table. He lays out the pitch: Reeves's 18-point explosion in the playoffs, Moody's 43% shooting from deep, the pick that could become a lottery talent. Harrison counters: we need long-term value. Add a protected 2025 first, or we walk. Pelinka pauses, texts Darvin Ham, and counters: look, we can sweeten with Gabe Vincent and a 2028 second-round swap. This is our final. Harrison nods, slowly. He knows Gafford's market will dwindle if he misses free agency, so he might have to take the deal rather than risk holding an expiring contract. Assuming the Lakers secure Gafford, what shifts on the court? Immediately, Davis slides back to his natural 4 spot more often, reducing wear and tear on his surgically repaired shoulder. Gafford becomes the tip of the spear in dumped-in possessions, a relentless finisher who scores on roll pops and quick drop-off lobs. LeBron's flashes of point-forward brilliance find a new target. He can zip cross-court passes off high screens, and Gafford's gravity draws 2 defenders, springing shooters like Malik Monk open for uncontested triples. In the half-court, Gafford's presence transforms the Warriors' matchup. No longer can Curry and Clay massacre on high pick-and-pops because any drive triggers Gafford's lightning block, smothering angles at the rim. Defensively, the Lakers morph into a top-5 paint protection unit. Switch-heavy lineups can mask weaknesses on the perimeter because they know Gafford's rim deterrence covers 80% of potential breakdowns. Anthony Davis can roam as a weak-side drop defender, prowling passing lanes while Gafford anchors the paint. If Davis moves to a power forward in small ball lineups, Gafford becomes the primary rim protector with the athleticism to cover pick-and-roll threats. Screens set in mid-post suddenly become traps. Ball handlers reverse out only to find Gafford's 7-foot wingspan waiting to tip away a pass. But the story doesn't end there. The Lakers would then become an attractive landing spot for shooters craving a safe haven. Unselfish catch-and-shoot options like Seth Curry and Danny Green, if they return from overseas stints, would flock to a lineup anchored by Davis, Gafford, and LeBron. The Lakers' cultural reset, emphasizing defense first, selfless ball movement, and generational leadership, would herald a new era of two-way excellence. Imagine crowded civic watch parties in Sacramento and Phoenix as opposing fans dread every trip to Staples Center, knowing Gafford's thunderous blocks will reverberate long after the game ends. Of course, nothing's guaranteed. If the Mavericks hold firm, the Lakers may pivot to Plan B, targeting Frank Ntilikina for defensive spice or Christian Wood for another expiring contract alternative. They might pursue a buyout signing like DeAndre Jordan, although that would lack the same athletic upside. Or they could double down on internal development, coaxing Jackson Hayes into a larger role behind Davis, hoping his untapped potential can blossom. But every one of those options falls short of the tantalizing ceiling Gafford represents. Let's not forget the ripple effect on the rest of the West. If the Lakers land Gafford, the Warriors scramble to match or risk falling behind in the size. Arms race. The Clippers, watching nervously, might accelerate their Sarek to Dallas outreach or reopen talks for Ivica Zubac if they still have the assets. Meanwhile, the Suns, sensing vulnerability, could pounce on trade candidates like DeAndre Ayton or Jock Landale, expanding their own front-court arsenal. Suddenly, the entire conference transforms into a marketplace of big men, each team scrambling to block shots and crash boards in hopes of outmuscling the Lakers. As fans, we can only sit back and marvel at the chessboard. Daniel Gafford's name lights up trade trackers for a reason. He's a generational paint dominator in the making, ready to convert simple screening actions into highlight reel dunks, and to convert defensive rotations into transition bursts. For the Lakers, the decision to pursue him signals serious title intent. It says, "We won't settle for perimeter firepower alone. We'll build a championship roster on two-way balance." But what do you think? Would you trade Reeves and Moody for Oklahoman Thunder? Would you gamble a protected first on his expiring deal? Or do you fear sacrificing youth and future assets for a rental risk? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. This is our team, our debate, our destiny. If you enjoyed this deep dive, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to Lakers News Fan Report, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss an update. Until next time, keep the faith and keep dreaming big. Lakers country is ready to roar.